Hi, this is Peggy Clary of Clary Law Offices, one of our estate planning attorneys. And tonight's video chat is to talk about the subject of having those difficult conversations with a loved one, and they are not easy to have. Now, many of my clients know I'm a parent of teenagers. We have difficult conversations all the time. They might pertain to curfew, they might pertain to driving over the speed limit, it might pertain to our friend group, our academics, but as a parent of teenagers, I have a little more ability to have a consequence or shape behavior because I'm still, in the eyes of the law, a legal parent responsible for their care. The conversations that we have to have with our elderly parent or a beloved family member who's an adult is a very different framework because that elderly parent still has the full ability under the law to make all their own decisions. So you can't say, Mom and Dad, I'm going to take your phone if you don't come home in time, or if you drive on the highway, Mom and Dad, I'm going to restrict your driving time. Because unlike the teenager example, your elderly parent is an adult in the eyes of the law and fully in charge of their life. So when, as an elderly parent or a beloved loved one struggles, and maybe they are having difficulty in areas of driving, in areas of maybe managing their self-care, maybe proper nutrition, living in a very large house and they're having trouble getting up the stairs, and you approach them from a place of care saying, we need to make a plan because you're having some difficulties managing your environment. That type of conversation is oftentimes met with significant frustration, anger, stonewalling, and what starts as a conversation to have of good intentions can quickly go sideways. So how to have those discussions is the point of tonight's talk. Number one, all of these discussions need to be marked in the power of choice. Your elderly parent, your beloved aunt, your dear uncle, they are in charge of their life. So to open the discussion up with, tell me what you want. How do you see this next chapter in your life unfolding? Is of paramount. They are in charge, and we like to say they're masters of their universe here, but having that ability to know the purpose of this conversation is not to take away your control, but it's best supporting what your plan is, what you want your plan to be. The second one is to approach the conversation with dignity. So how you communicate this message to them is from a place of care, from the heart, versus, hey Dad, I saw you driving down the road and you're in the middle of the road. So we want to talk about, I'm really concerned about maybe your driving skills and in the point of we don't want to hurt someone else. Can we talk about, do you need a backup camera on the car? Or how are you doing? Do you feel confident in your driving? So respectful, kindness, empathy guides the discussion. The third thing that's very important to remember, particularly for our elderly parent, is the power of independence. So the more guidance and discussion we can have about maintaining your independence. So the truth is, maybe there's an injury or a fall that's occurred, and your parent may need to be in maybe a rehab facility or in an assisted living facility to gain some strength. Having the conversation about wanting you to be independent in your environment to the best of our ability. It might be purchasing some adaptive equipment to facilitate their mobility. So it might be, let's think about using maybe a lift chair if that'll help you with that. It might be maybe a device to help pick up things. It might be, could we start in a low level of assisted living and move through tiers as needed? But always empowering the person to feel they have independence in their life does two things. Number one, it enables them to maintain a sense of dignity, a sense of self-pride, And also for you, you have comfort knowing we are doing what my parent wanted to have. They wanted to be in charge of their universe. So having these conversations are never easy. And I hope with your own parent or loved one that having those difficult conversations marked by emphasizing the power of choice, respect, and also the need to maintain your independence will facilitate successful discussions. And if I can be of any assistance to you or your family in having those communications, attorneys can also be really helpful because they're able to explain the legal consequences if a third party makes those decisions. And sometimes it helps to have a neutral person be there as part of that conversation your family's having. We hope you live a life of dignity, civility, and respect. And thanks again for your time.